Video 83, USA Travel Without Insurance Risk, Warning Mode, Global Policy Guide. He landed in America for the vacation of his dreams. New York, bright lights, famous places, a perfect trip. But just 4 days later, one emergency room visit destroyed everything. The hospital demanded more than $10,000 before treatment even started, and what happened next terrified him. Welcome to Global Policy Guide. Today, we reveal the hidden financial danger of traveling to the USA without travel insurance. Millions of tourists visit America every year. Some come for vacation, some for business, some to visit family. But many travelers make one dangerous mistake before boarding their flight. They ignore travel insurance. They believe, "It won't happen to me." But in America, one small accident can become a financial disaster within hours. And the scariest part? Most tourists never realize the danger until they are already trapped inside it. Real story setup. Meet Daniel, a 29-year-old traveler who spent years saving money for his dream trip to the United States. He wanted to experience everything: Times Square, Hollywood, American restaurants, luxury shopping. For him, this trip represented success. He booked expensive hotels, bought new clothes, planned every detail carefully. But there was one thing he ignored completely: travel insurance. Daniel believed it was unnecessary. He was healthy, young, confident, and he wanted to save money. Why waste money on insurance, he told his friend before the trip. That single decision would soon become the biggest mistake of his life. The dream vacation. Daniel arrived in New York full of excitement. Everything felt magical. The giant buildings, the yellow taxis, the energy of the city. He explored famous tourist attractions, took photos, visited restaurants, walked through crowded streets late at night. For the first few days, everything seemed perfect. He even called his family and said, "This is the best trip of my life." But then something unexpected happened, and within minutes, his dream vacation turned into a nightmare. The emergency begins. Late one evening, Daniel suddenly felt sharp chest pain while walking near Times Square. At first, he ignored it. He thought maybe it was stress or exhaustion. But the pain became worse every minute. His breathing became difficult. Sweat covered his face. People around him noticed something was wrong. Someone asked if he needed help. Daniel tried to continue walking, but then he collapsed onto the sidewalk. Within minutes, an ambulance arrived, and that's when the real nightmare began. The hospital shock. Doctors rushed Daniel into the emergency room. Everything moved quickly: blood pressure checks, heart monitoring, emergency scans, medication. Daniel felt relieved. He believed the worst was over. But then, the hospital staff handed him a document. Estimated treatment cost: emergency room, $3,200. Ambulance, $1,100. Blood tests, $950. X-rays and scans, $2,400. Overnight observation, $3,000. Total estimate, more than $10,000. Daniel stared at the paper in complete shock. He thought there had been a mistake, but there was no mistake. This was normal in America. And then came the most terrifying question of all: how will you pay for this? Emotional panic. Daniel's hands started shaking. His bank account did not have enough money. His credit card limits were too low. Suddenly, the vacation he spent years planning was collapsing in front of him. He called his family in panic. He tried contacting friends. He searched online for emergency financial help, but nothing happened quickly enough. And the hospital costs kept increasing every hour. The longer he stayed, the larger the bill became. At that moment, Daniel realized something terrifying. Travel insurance would have protected him completely, but now he was alone. Why USA hospital costs are so high. Many tourists do not understand how expensive healthcare is in America. The United States has one of the most expensive medical systems in the world. Even basic emergency treatment costs thousands of dollars. A simple ambulance ride can exceed $1,500. One emergency room visit can cost over $3,000, and overnight hospital stays become even worse. Many hospitals charge separately for doctors, medication, tests, scans, specialists, medical equipment, Every service adds another charge. And without travel insurance, tourists must pay the full amount themselves. Most travelers never realize this before arriving. That's why medical emergencies in the USA become financial disasters so quickly. Emergency medical costs. The biggest tourist mistakes. Many tourists believe their regular health insurance works internationally. Most of the time, it does not. Others think their credit cards provide enough protection. But emergency medical coverage is often extremely limited. Some travelers buy very cheap insurance policies, but later discover hidden problems. Low coverage limits, no ambulance support, no emergency hospitalization coverage, no direct payment assistance, and sometimes claims get completely rejected. But the biggest mistake? Traveling without any insurance at all. Because one unexpected emergency can destroy years of savings in a single night. The financial nightmare. Daniel's situation became worse every day. The hospital demanded payment guarantees. Collection warnings started appearing. His vacation budget disappeared completely. Instead of exploring America, he spent his days making stressful phone calls, trying to borrow money, trying to negotiate bills, trying to avoid financial disaster. The emotional stress became unbearable. He stopped enjoying the trip completely. Fear replaced excitement. Anxiety replaced happiness. And sadly, thousands of tourists experience similar situations every year in the United States. Comparison warning. Now imagine two travelers visiting America. One traveler buys strong travel insurance. The other ignores it to save money. Both face the same medical emergency, but their outcomes become completely different. One receives protection, emergency support, hospital coverage, peace of mind. The other receives panic, debt, stress, and massive hospital bills. That difference comes from one simple decision made before the flight. Smart solution. The smartest decision for USA travel is proper travel insurance. A strong policy should include emergency medical treatment, hospital stays, ambulance coverage, emergency hotline support, medical evacuation, and direct hospital payment assistance. Always read policy details carefully before traveling, especially for America, because the USA is not the place to take medical risks without protection. Travel insurance may feel unnecessary until the exact moment you truly need it, and when emergencies happen, it becomes the most important thing you own. Final emotional lesson. Daniel eventually returned home, but his dream vacation became a financial nightmare he would never forget. Months of stress followed him after the trip ended, all because of one sentence: "It won't happen to me." That single mistake cost him more than $10,000. And sadly, many travelers continue making the same mistake every year. Travel should create memories, not debt. Protection matters, preparation matters, and one smart decision before your flight can protect your future completely. Strong CTA. If you travel internationally, never ignore travel insurance, especially for the United States. Subscribe to Global Policy Guide for travel safety awareness, visa updates, hospital cost reality, tourist warning stories, travel insurance guides, real travel risks. Travel smart, stay protected, and never underestimate the financial danger of medical emergencies abroad. Subscribe for travel safety.